I've been really sick the last few days and I don't have the appetite to eat anything, but today I'm actually craving to eat something. So I'm gonna attempt to make chicken noodle soup with things I found around the house. But this isn't like your ordinary chicken noodle soup. I conjured up things from what I had in my pantry and from my neighbors, and it's like a really healthy version of a chicken noodle soup. I don't know. Let's see if it works. I usually use bone-in chicken thighs or bone-in chicken quarters for this recipe, but I don't have that. I found chicken breasts in my freezer and I defrosted them. So in a heavy bottom pot, we're just going to brown our chicken breast on both sides. While the chicken's browning, we're gonna start chopping up our vegetables. So my neighbor was nice enough to lend me celery, so we'll be using celery for this soup. The thing is, like traditional chicken noodle soup, you need to like chop your vegetables up really fine. This, you can just literally throw them in however you want. I'm gonna give them a little chop just to make sure they cook evenly, but they don't have to be chopped up super nice. And I have these multicolored carrots in my fridge, so we're gonna use them all up in the soup. Chicken is done searing on both sides. We're gonna remove it from the pot, add our chopped up vegetables straight to the pot that we seared the chicken in. So we're just gonna cook these vegetables until they're fragrant. I think I have garlic in my pantry. Let me go check. Quickly peeled some garlic. I'm just gonna throw the whole cloves in there again because it doesn't have to be all chopped up. You'll see later. I'm starting to smell my garlic and also I'm in a huge rush, so I'm trying to make this before my kids wake up. We're gonna add our chicken back to the pot. I found this low sodium chicken broth from Trader Joe's, so I'm gonna add one of these and see if I need to add the second one. Add a half of the second one because I don't think we need all this chicken broth. I wanna make sure the chicken and the vegetables are covered. I'm gonna add a good amount of black pepper, a good amount of salt, and I mean a good amount of salt. And I think Italian seasoning makes everything taste better, so we're gonna add a good amount of Italian seasoning in this too. And then we're gonna cover this and let it simmer for, I don't even know, maybe an hour until the chicken starts straining apart and the vegetables are cooked thoroughly. Here's the soup after it's been cooking for an hour. I'm gonna take the chicken out and then shred it. And while we're waiting for our chicken to cool, I'm gonna boil some water to make our pasta. I hate when people put pasta straight in a chicken noodle soup because it's gonna get super soggy. I mean, disgusting. Make your pasta on the side and then add it to the soup. I'm telling you, it's so much better. My husband has these handy dandy chicken shredders, so you don't have to like touch the hot chicken. So we're gonna attempt to shred this really hot chicken. It's actually working really well. Our water's boiling. I'm gonna use this kind of pasta because that's all I have, and it's gonna be delicious. We're gonna take our spoon and we're gonna take out all the vegetables in the soup and put them into a separate bowl. So we're gonna add a ladle or two of the broth into the bowl with all the vegetables. We're gonna use our handy dandy immersion blender and blend up all the vegetables. If you don't have an immersion blender, you can use a food processor, a blender, but this is just a lot easier for me. My kids are in their high chairs looking at me like I'm absolutely crazy, and I do have stuff all over my shirt now, so great. Now our vegetables are in a puree form. I can't really show you or it's gonna fall out of the bowl, but basically it's a puree. Take the puree and dump it right back into that broth. I know it looks weird, but we have to mix it up. Give her a good old stir. We're gonna take our chicken and add it right back to the pot too. And then we're gonna add the lid to this and let it simmer for like another 20 minutes. That way the chicken soaks up all the goodness. See how the broth is like rich looking now instead of clear? It is so good and it's full of flavor. It's all done. We have some noodles in the bowl and then we're gonna put some soup in here. I usually put Parmesan cheese in this, but guess what? I don't have any Parmesan cheese. My husband's eating it right now. He says it's really good. So let's give it a little taste test. It looks really hot, but we're gonna give it a little test. It's good. It's like a healthy, really hearty soup. So good.